The Comparative Anatomy of a Frog by Annie Nielsen and Maya Salinger. The bullfrog, like every other species, has specific classifications. They belong to the kingdom Animalia, the phylum Chordata, the class Amphibia, and the order Anura. In general, the frog family, genus, and species depend on the kind of frog. We dissected a bullfrog, which belongs to the family Ranidae. Bullfrogs are also members of the genus Rana and the species Arcatospiana.
The characteristics of the frog's class Amphibia are quite specific. Amphibians live in water as larvae and begin to go on land as they get older. They have moist skin and no scales or claws.
While the frog's exterior differs in many ways from other species, their digestive system has many similarities to the pig.
The pathway of food through the digestive system is the same in both organisms. Food enters through the mouth and travels down the esophagus to enter the stomach, which is located under the liver. From the stomach, the food enters the small intestine and then the large intestine. The intestines in both organisms are held together by mesentery and serve the same purpose. The small intestine chemically digests food and absorbs nutrients, and the large intestine absorbs water. Once the absorption is finished, waste is removed from the body.
Before food can enter the rest of the digestive system, it must enter the mouth. A frog's mouth has two types of teeth, maxillary and vomerine. Frogs generally swallow their prey whole, so their teeth are used more for capturing prey than for chewing. Maxillary teeth can be found lining the upper jaw or maxilla and do a little bit of chewing when necessary. Vomerine teeth are found in the roof of the mouth, pointed towards the throat so that prey cannot escape.
The bullfrog, like other amphibians, can breathe both above and underwater. Bullfrogs have veins and arteries going through their skin that capture oxygen in water when a frog is submerged. That oxygen is then circulated throughout the body. To keep the oxygen in frog's skin has a coating of mucus. When the frog is above water, it uses its lungs, which are not very developed to breathe. Because their lack of development, it is more efficient for the frogs to breathe underwater.
The frog, unlike the mammalian pig, has a three-chambered heart. Its heart consists of a left and right atrium and a single ventricle. Oxygen-poor blood enters the right atrium, while oxygenated blood from the pulmonary veins enters the left.
Blood is squeezed out of the single ventricle into one blood vessel that splits between the lungs and the rest of the body. A three-chambered heart is less efficient than a four-chambered heart because the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood mix.
Amphibians are believed to have evolved from fish during the late Devonian period. Sharks also developed from fish, but at an earlier time and do not have a more recent common ancestor. After amphibians had been around for a while, some amphibians began laying amniotic eggs with shells that let them be laid on land.
Tortoises, a reptile, evolved from these organisms. Mammals and birds developed after reptiles. They are all related to the first amphibians.
Bullfrogs are an interesting species whose structures are very similar to that of both the modern pig and human.